Hi everybody, it's Jeff and Nikki from Nightshade Nook Decor. So we are here today to pour the Spalted maple table. So we did a thing.
Yeah. It's not the table we promised. It's definitely
better.
It's
way better.
Since
And I'm
then.
too short to even get in here. So what we did was split the slab down the center-ish and separated them. So it's actually going to have wood on the exterior and the river in the center, which I like much better.
Right. So before we were doing an exterior pour, we decided basically to make this a river table. So we're not doing a river pour. I'm standing on a 5-gallon bucket.
I was like, what are you on?
I'm fixing the pour, and I didn't want to have to pour over my head.
I was going to say, and I need to
pouring easier
on something so I can video this better.
We figured we're pouring about almost 9 gallons of epoxy here today. So we mixed our epoxy. So far we've mixed 6 gallons of epoxy into 2 5-gallon buckets. So we're going to pour the first 6 gallons and then we'll mix up some more and see where it takes us. So, and we also have a couple of coaster frames on the ready because you're better off to have more epoxy than not enough. So when we do find that we have some leftover epoxy, we will pour it in the coaster frames there. And we'll have matching coasters for this table.
And we have our friend John Vassallo here today from Spice of Life Productions. So he's actually out here learning some of the process because he's going to start creating some live edge tables for his wedding venues and wedding parties. So that's super exciting. And I'm going to see if I can scooch down. I'm not getting the length of the table.
The area you want to be in.
I know, but I'm feeling extremely short, and I'm not a short person. Oh, now see, now I don't really got the table.
You need to stand up on the, you got to get tall like me.
There we go.
Good? All right.
Now we're good.
So we're going to start the pour.
So we picked a really, what I think is a stunning color for this table. It's a sapphire blue with some silver black in it. And, of course, we're using Wise Bond Deep Pour Epoxy. But, that is so pretty.
We are now officially authorized dealers of Wise Bond Epoxy. So we will, going forward, we will only be using their products. That's so cool to watch it, ain't it, John?
That's awesome.
You probably should have filmed from the other end. You could have saw it coming toward you.
Oh, it is what it is.
Honestly, it's really, I'm telling you, maybe we're not going to need 8 gallons. This is really, we might have enough epoxy right now.
Already mixed up? I guess we'll see.
We will see. We may have to mix a little more, but this went pretty far.
Well, you know what it is. We also changed the dimensions of everything on you, too.
Yeah, but we're not changing the volume. We're still
not changing the volume?
Yeah, still same. We may have changed the shape, but the volume remains the same.
I don't know. Maybe your math was off.
Maybe my
Which
math
is what
was
I
off.
had said to begin
Well,
with. It looks like a galaxy.
I was kind of hoping my math was off because that's a lot of epoxy.
There, I can get a bigger. Are you going down there to fill those holes? Because I think I might go down there.
Well, go ahead and go down there because when I
don't have this lovely.
When there's a little bit less in the bucket, I will fill the holes. Right? I'm not doing it now when the bucket's
Oh no,
full.
I'm not going down there past you like that.
Okay. Then you stay where you're at for now. It's still flowing around the outside edges too. It's not. I still see some of the base is still.
That is a very, very pretty color.
You can see all the sparkly from that black silver.
Yeah, that's what I liked about adding the black silver is it gives it a little more texture.
Right, and when we swirl it, that's when you really notice it. It helps. It helps give you some nice swirls.
An absolutely beautiful color, and against that light wood, it's just gonna pop.
Well, I think maybe we will need more because we still have to fill those inner voids.
You're right. You're right.
So we probably, my estimates were probably very close. And again, it's not an exact science. I mean, you're calculating, you can get close, but at the end of the day, it's a very educated guess,
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, this table is actually going to be for sale. This is not a custom project. We just really wanted to use this spalted maple. It's so pretty, and it's been sitting in our shop for, I don't know, a while.
We've had it all summer.
all summer. And we just wanted to do something really neat and cool with it. And I think the way we divided it was the best bet. I think this is just going to look stunning.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need more epoxy.
All right. Well, when you mix up epoxy, I can go down to the other end.
Yeah, looking about a 1/2 inch of height.
There's Clancy out there barking, doing his thing.
What's he doing his Clancy thing?
He's normally in the shop out here. I'm sure he's a little mad.
So yeah, we do got to come up a good 1/2 inch, and we have to still fill those voids. So
Well, why don't you, while you mix that up, I'll just look around the table.
you go around the table and...
Yeah, because I'm going to stand on your bucket so I can get a shot of some of those rivers that are there. Although I'm sketched out by how you do these things. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, so as you can see, none of the voids have filled in yet, so he still has to do that. And this is just going to be a stunning table. I'm trying to get the... It's huge. It's going to be 3 foot by 5 foot. And we're going to do farmhouse style legs on it.
I believe so.
But you can see that spalted maple is really just kind of pops against that blue. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think you did a good job. I think you make my life challenging walking through all this. So
well, these jugs that were further away from the stove are definitely thicker than...
Yeah. Well, there was only so many I could fit there. And they looked like little soldiers going off to war or something, the way they were lined up. And you see, I'm kind of sad that this white stripe is all just foam and air that's gonna go away. I kind of like it.
Nikki's been bugging me to do an ocean table that has waves in it, like the cresting rolling waves.
Yeah, it's
with the
pretty
white
cool.
epoxy
Yeah.
Right.
and the blue.
Yeah.
That would look so nice. I'm gonna keep pushing for you to do that. We got that black walnut slab.
She wanted me to do it on this table, and I don't think this is the table for that, but I think we should start with a cutting board or a coffee table before we go big.
I still disagree.
This kind of looks like a whitewater rafting trip
Right, which is what I like about it.
through the canyon.
Through the canyon. And I like how the black and the silver just kind of make all those little lines and veins in there. It's so neat. Such a very neat process. And this stuff is already so shiny that it's reflecting. You can see me standing here with my phone in it. It's kind of cool. So what he's doing now is just kind of mixing up another bucket full of epoxy so we can fill these deep crevices that are sitting here.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make 3 gallons. I think I'm going to make 1.5 gallons first and see where it takes us.
Okay. That's fine.
So then you basically have to drop your color down by
Half.
Half.
Because we're doing half, so.
So now you're doing 1/4 of the black and 1/2 of the blue.
Right.
Well, you can already kind of see what the tabletop is going to look like just by this little piece that's sitting here that's covered in epoxy.
And
that's
little island.
right. And it's just such a nice contrast, that color against the blue. I like it.
Can you create individual islands in there if you wanted to? If you took other small pieces of wood and dropped it in there
Yes.
to create a
Absolutely, you
landscape?
could, yeah.
Which is another thing I want him to do.
We would, actually, if we had had more spalted maple, we would have done that.
We kept talking
Spalted
about it and
maple's hard
talking
to
about
find.
it.
It's
Yeah.
very rare. So we were lucky enough just to get this piece, you know. It's the only piece they had, and it's when I saw it, I was like, oh, I definitely want that.
Yeah.
You don't see that every day.
No. The color in this thing is just amazing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wood grain
The
on that
modeling.
is just, it's something else.
Yeah, this is just gonna be a beautiful table.
Right. So when we're done with all this heat pour epoxy, when the tabletop is actually finished, we are going to do a flood coat over the top, and that'll really make that wood grain just pop. It'll give it a lot of dimension, and it'll be gorgeous.
So what he's mixing up is the sapphire blue with the silver black mica powders. As you can see, it just gives it a nice swirl. There's no point in me trying to talk because you'll never hear me over any of that. I love how these little lines came out. So he's going to fill all the little cracks that are in here. There's a couple more down there with the blue. So then you'll have little veins of the blue running through the tabletop as well.
Sorry about all the noise, guys. I gotta do what I gotta do.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll
I gotta get
probably
out of your
need
way.
next and last batch.
You're killing me. I figured you would. Your measurements were
My
to do that.
measurements are always very close.
It's so funny. It almost looks
You
like
can
a
see we're
steel
just
blue
about
when
ready
you're
to
pouring
pour
it.
in. See how it's starting to trickle in right there?
Yeah.
My island over here is starting to come to life too. But there it goes. Now it's filling up over there.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need the other batch for sure.
I figured you would. But these crevices are just going to look beautiful with this color. Of course, you go to the side that I'm not. And I got you. So it's almost like little canyons or little lakes inside. And then, like he said, once this is all done, he's going to coat it in the tabletop epoxy, so it's going to have that beautiful sheen like our other tables had. Which is really just going to make all the grains, all the veins and everything just pop. You still need more?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because I can see it's really low over here. So anything in this wood that's got a little crack or crevice is going to get filled with blue, which I think is just going to make this a stunning table. It's a good choice. I can't wait to do the black walnut one.
Yeah, I know. That one's going to be cool. That one's going to be a pub table.
So this one we're thinking is going to be a farmhouse style, as far as the base goes, kitchen table or dining table, because it is such a big table. It looks like by the time it's all said and done, you can probably fit about 6 people at this table. That's sketchy. Why did you stand on that? Because you can. I'm not as skilled as you are. But I wanted to get an aerial of the table since it's mostly filled. And I'm not tall enough. But you can kind of get a view of what the table is going to look like when it's all done, minus all the air that he's going to pop out of there. Alright, do you have anything else you want to add? Do you want to Because you're still going to mix, so it's no point in popping air bubbles, right?
Well, we can blow off some air bubbles just so you guys can get a good look at what it might look like.
All right. I'm not moving. In case you were wondering.
No one's ever seen us pop air bubbles at this magnitude.
I know, it's crazy.
So the reason the colors are different is because I just whipped this one up. So this has a lot of air still in it that hasn't come to the surface yet. In a few minutes, this will be the same as that.
I like that you answered my questions before I had them.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be like, that's a different color.
Well, it wasn't exactly how I was going to phrase it, but yeah. Once you swirl it all up too, it'll look different.
See, you can see the bubble stick coming up and popping.
Yeah, yeah. So in essence, it's going to look like this, minus the shop light. All right, well, that's all we have for today. We'll obviously post some pictures when we finish this up. Once he finishes adding the rest of the epoxy, we'll post some shots of it, which I'll have him do since he's taller. And you guys can get an idea of what the whole table is going to look like. Don't forget, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Don't forget to like and share our videos. That's what's been helping us grow. And as you can see, he's swirling it up some now to kind of give you an idea of the definition that this is going to have. But it is deep pour epoxy, so this is going to take
24 hours to cure, not to cure, but to set up, to actually harden.
So anything that he does to it now is pointless. It's all just going to dissipate.
It's going to dissipate.
Plus, he's still pouring in another bucket.
Right, we still have
of
some
the
more
epoxy.
We're not quite there yet.
But it is going to be an absolutely beautiful table. I'm kind of jealous. I think I really like this one. All right, well, like I said, thank you for watching, and we'll post you more pictures as we go. And you guys have a great day. And John, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget Spice of Life Production. Yeah, he's been a great help today.
Yes.
Do you have to plane it afterwards to get the epoxy off the top, or can it just get sanded off? That's Josh Voss.
No, we will definitely. This is basically the table we're working on is our mill table, okay? So before we built the form, we actually put the slab down on this table, and I built the router sled, and we mill the boards flat on this table. So when it's all said and done, we're going to have such an overpour here that, because we want to make sure we get all our nooks and crannies full, that we will wind up taking it out of the form, putting it back on the mill table, and we will mill off the excess epoxy, because it would be a lot to sand. Even with a belt sander, it'll be just too much to sand. So
right. And parts of that we'll video. Definitely there'll be photos of all that. And then when he does the flood coat, we're definitely videoing that.
Yeah, we'll video the flood coat, but you guys seen us do that before, so it's not a big deal. But
yeah,
like
but
I said, we've not
beautiful table.
We have not done a table on this size before. So we've done it in smaller scale, coffee tables and cutting boards and such, but we have not. This is the largest project that we've done to date. So, it's definitely a learning process. Like I'll tell anyone who asks, every time I pour, it's a learning process. The more you do this, the more you learn. You know what I mean? Every pour is different. It's just the more you do it, the more you learn, and it's just every situation is unique. And just like every slab is unique, you can't cookie cutter this stuff. I can never reproduce this exact table because every slab of wood is different, Well,
that's what I love about it too, is they're so unique. It's
right.
Each one's custom.
I can make stuff that looks similar, but I can
no
never
reproductions.
Reproduce. Yeah, it's just impossible. So I think that's all we have for right now. We gotta mix up a little more epoxy and finish filling it up here, but that's pretty much the rough idea of what this table's going to look like.
All right. He says thanks.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
well, thank you for watching, and thanks for your question, and you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.